Hello, hello. Gotta get back in my seat. There we go. Okay. It's a higher chair than I remember. Than like an hour ago. So whilst everybody's trickling back in, we'll just kind of let people join the stream as is. Thank you guys for hopping over to the next stream with my next guests. It's going to be fun. And we only have 2 more guests for the rest of the day, so you guys have the floor for the time being. So, who might have the floor, might you ask? Well, it is Eric from Party Paranormal, Ghost Hunter South Florida, and Ghostly Experiences. And Fran from Same. So I've interviewed you guys before. I've done live events with you guys where you've done live investigations, and those are always super fun. December 4th.
And you always get magnet.
A little bit.
Right. You always get some good EVPs.
Always get good EVPs. Crazy EVPs. I love when you guys do like the EVPs in like the round when everybody has the recorders,
right? Because
not everybody hears the same thing. So I love that. So how long, for people who aren't familiar and maybe haven't seen the interviews, how long have you been investigating?
I've been investigating for about 11 years now.
11 years.
Mm-hmm.
What got you into the paranormal?
I've just been a curious type of fellow. No, I don't know. I've always wanted to know about the unknown, and actually, ghost hunters got me into this.
That's okay.
I always thought man, I don't have the crazy experience that happened to me. I went into this as a skeptical.
Right, of let me disprove this.
I'm I just want to go to one of these investigations and see if it's exactly real. I mean,
yeah, you want to see I want to see what I found.
I don't know. I mean, it's pretty freaky. So I was so I started doing stuff on my own, going on ghost tours. I'm in Florida, so visited St. Augustine quite often. So that's one of the haunted places in the U.S.,
very
right?
Haunted, yes.
And started just getting weird things on my own. And then I'm from Miami, so I went on a ghost tour in Miami with a paranormal group there, and reached out to the director and told him I want to go on an investigation. I'll carry equipment. I'll pay you money. I just want to see what it's like.
I just want to see.
Exactly. So, I did that, and before I know it, I'm doing investigations, I'm doing events. We get a lot of exposure on Latin TV down in Miami, Fort Lauderdale area. I'm going on TV shows. So,
Yeah. So, and then, Fran, how did you? I'm gonna actually adjust while you talk. I'm going to adjust the camera because you are not on camera right now. So I am going to adjust that. And let me know when it looks good. So apologies for the camera moving, because all of my people that were helping are doing other things. That's a really heavy table.
You want me to get that? Let me get it. I think you got it okay.
You got it okay?
Here, you go there and tell me what you think.
Minor adjustments. Okay, we can see her now. Hello.
Good. You want to pull it back a little bit? Turn it.
Turn it a little bit that way. Yes. Perfect.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. Because I was like,
I multitask.
He does. We would like to see her because it's right now it just looks like I'm interviewing a ghost, which would be awesome. Not discounting that. The evening is young. So, Fran, how long have you been investigating?
So I've been investigating for the past 8 years, just kind of by myself, independently, just collecting evidence, and didn't really put my content out there until recently. So I started Supernatural Eye, and then started getting with Party Paranormal. But about 8 years ago, I started.
Okay. Was there a particular experience that brought you into it, or just something that always interested you?
Yes, as a childhood, I've always been. I felt like I was sensitive to the other side, mostly connected during my sleep. So I felt like that's my most vulnerable state. And then from there on, I majored in psychology and just had an interest into deriving to paranormal studies. Yep.
Awesome. So how many members on the team do you guys have total? Because I know you have multiple teams. 20.
Yep. We're Party Paranormal. We cover all of South Florida. We actually have 2 teams. The original team started in West Palm Beach. It was founded by Marla Scotty Burns and John Zapp Adderall 5 years ago. And they came from other teams within Florida, but they're the main team, and they cover West Palm Beach and up. And then when I came into the picture, I created Party South team, where we cover the Fort Lauderdale, Miami area.
And then you said you're expanding to another team.
She's from Naples, so we're expanding out that way, and hopefully head up to Tampa.
you guys are gonna cover the whole state pretty soon.
Exactly.
Pretty soon, that's the idea, right?
Exactly.
So, you guys do private you guys do historical locations. That railroad yard is crazy. It's like, I love that. I need to go there in person. Do you guys do private investigations as well for when people ask you into homes and things like that?
Yeah, well, the main purpose of War Party Paranormal is we're here to help people paranormal problems in their homes or businesses. We're not for profit. We don't charge people. And we do ghost hunting events at known historical locations that are haunted, just to promote ourselves. And we do TV spots like locally to get the word out. And we're just all like passionate, and we're people that care and we want to help people.
So, is it a different prep? Like, I'm gonna ask you the same question that I asked you in reality, because they do kind of the same thing, where it's like, do you guys prep differently for a public location as opposed to a private residence?
Oh yeah, totally different. Yeah, like the private is totally different because we have like several steps. It's a whole process. Like we have a telephone interview, we do the preliminary, and if it's needed, we do a full-out investigation. And then if cleansing is needed, we have people that can help as well.
So how out of those that approach you from the private investigations, how many of them do you kind of like weed out in the beginning of the process? Is it like, do you end up getting to the full investigation with most of them, or is it only with a portion of them where you feel like, okay, we really need to go there in person?
I say 50-50.
50-50.
Yeah. Half the times it's really not anything. It's just people that you can just tell.
You can probably get a sense for those things.
There were times where like we went to an investigation and it's like a party, like we're the entertainment. So that's what we don't want.
You're like,
and we've gotten like into those situations before. And
we call it ghost hunters for entertainment. Yeah.
Now, if you want to do that, last night was ghostly experience. I can help you there.
Yeah.
And the War Party Paranormal.
Yeah, like we don't do parties.
Exactly.
We don't do birthday parties and bar mitzvahs.
We do parties, we call it war party, but not that kind of party.
People get confused.
Exactly.
So, what is your favorite location that you have been to so far?
Right now, it's gone. It's got demolished, but it's right near West Palm Beach, Florida, and it was the Belglade Correctional Facility.
Okay, jails are great.
Yeah, and that place was abandoned for about like 8 years, and we started investigating it. And the thing is with that prison is there was like a cult there doing satanic worship at the church chapel, and like desecrated the whole place to the point like, because when we were investigating originally, they weren't there, and then when they were there, you could just feel like the heaviness.
The energy was completely different. Yeah.
But that was like crazy.
And they've torn it down.
Yeah. Now it's like a cement plant.
Oh.
But it'd be interesting to see if the grounds are still haunted.
It looks like it might be a very haunted cement plant.
They don't keep abandoned prisons long in Florida for some reason. There's just another one that was this one's going to be really interesting. It's like probably my second favorite place would be the Women's Broward Correctional Facility. And if anyone's ever seen the movie Monster with Charlize Theron, where she plays Eileen Wuornos, that was a serial killer prostitute. Well, she was locked up there. She wasn't executed there, but she spent some time there. But that place was disembodied voices. Sure. That's the first time I ever heard of disembodied voices.
Really?
Yeah.
Jails, prisons, hospitals generally, or like anywhere, and you guys can probably attest to this that have done investigations at locations like that. Anywhere where there's like a great deal of like strife and suffering, you get a lot of activity.
Yeah.
And it just kind of like
places
around it, right? Yeah. Those are the best ones. That in a creepy basement.
Exactly. Yeah.
And then, Fran, what are your favorite locations you've been to so far?
So far, what I've investigated, I would say Alcatraz has been my favorite. Second, I would say Gold Coast Railroad, Miami, for sure. That's very active. Oh, it's very active. Definitely need to come down. Yes, for sure.
Yes, I'm trying to get in. There's a railroad yard out here in Nevada that I actually Ghost Adventures was at. They filmed the ghost train of Ely. But it's 50 acres and it's kind of very similar feel to it. I had like a walking tour of it. I'm trying to get the guys in there. Like it's crazy. Like
the people that are watching now, they need to go see the episode that you put up.
Yes.
Live investigation.
Your guys' live investigation. So it is on the Dead Hours channel. Yeah, you got some great EVPs. And we're going to be going live from there again on December 4th. We're gonna
Exactly.
be doing
So
that
tune
again.
in for that.
So subscribe so you don't miss it. So what is your favorite? You guys did a little presentation last night about like how to find a team, equipment and things like that. What is your favorite piece of equipment to use?
I recorded.
Recorder?
Of course, yeah.
That's,
You know that,
I
right?
love it. I love that. EVPs
Yeah.
are my favorite.
Yeah.
Me too.
And
Brand?
it's my Panasonic DR60 recorder.
It's the nice recorder too. Like that one's a really nice one. It's like, it's like not, I mean, you can use your phone even like as a voice recorder, to
It's
be honest
special.
with you. But explain why the Panasonic one is a little
Well, it's like the holy grail of like recorders. It came out like in the 1990s, maybe for like $80, and they discontinued it because people were like using it like, at a lecture or whatever and getting voices on the recorder. So they stopped making them.
they thought it was defective.
So now it's like the holy grail of recorders. Like you'll see Ghost Adventures, they use them a lot. What's that other one called? It was the Final Destination or something like that.
There's been a few like, but
But that recorder, it's like right now you can't find it. There's only, if you go on eBay right now, there's one that's going for almost $5,000. That's how crazy it is.
Yeah.
I didn't spend that much though, but we got like probably like about like 15 of them with everyone on our team together. But the thing is, it's just the way it's made. I don't know if it's the casing on it. It gets higher frequencies, but
crazy.
yeah, it's amazing. That's my favorite
That's your
tool.
favorite piece of equipment. Fran, what's your favorite piece of
Lately I've
equipment?
been into my Ovilus. I don't know why I've been like super connected with it, but I just been getting a lot of good responses, just spot on and
She
everything
gets
else.
crazy
Yeah.
responses.
Crazy direct responses.
Yeah.
Even like my coffin ring recently at Redlands, my Ovilus picked up on my coffin
Remember
ring.
the first one,
I just picked
Hotel
it up.
Redlands?
Yeah, so just like things like that. I've never been attached with the Ovilus lately. Yeah.
Those are Oviluses are fun. I do like those too.
Yeah, those are fun, yeah.
So I think that you got asked this last night, but I don't think anyone, obviously people watching didn't get to see it. And some maybe you didn't get to see it. Is there a piece of equipment that you're like, I don't take that with me. Like I have it, but I never pack it.
Any of you investigators out there know the Rook made by Ghost Stop? That's like my favorite paperweight right now. It's like on my, like,
Favorite
newspaper
desk
somewhere.
decoration.
Yeah. Probably the Rook, and the most known one is I really don't like the K2. It's too sensitive, way too sensitive.
And then Fran, for you.
I would say between like the K2, the dowsing rods, I wouldn't say I wouldn't use it. Sometimes I do, depending on the investigation, but I would say probably the K2 as well. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a very divisive kind of piece of equipment sometimes in the paranormal community. Like you can start an argument by just saying something about a K2 in a paranormal chat.
Oh, yeah,
That and
yeah.
orbs. I love starting the orbs
Oh,
argument
yeah.
and just walking away.
Yeah, exactly.
And going, orbs aren't ghosts, goodbye, and then leave.
You mean you don't collect orb pictures as art?
Just,
You ever seen those pages?
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Like it's like some of them. It's like okay, that's legitimately a bug. You can like understand that that's a bug.
No, it's a fairy.
It's very small and it has wings. I don't know.
I'm sorry.
Maybe. So you guys do investigations all over Florida. Have you been to the St. Augustine Lighthouse?
Yep, I investigated the same.
Yeah.
Augustine
Is it as
Lighthouse.
haunted as they say it is?
It is. Yeah.
It's
Yeah, I actually had a lady that got touched, just like I'm out here. We
Just
were
like I'm
like,
out
we weren't
here.
in the lighthouse. We were in the basement, like the keeper's house basement.
Yeah.
Super active in there.
Yeah. I heard there's at least a couple spirits in there.
Yeah, and we got an EVP in the lighthouse that said, "I'm here." So that was
Oh.
pretty cool.
Pretty direct.
That was pre. I didn't even have a DR60 then. It was just like a regular recorder.
That's awesome.
So that was cool.
I would that's one I'm like, I need to go there. It's super haunted. But so what is your dream location? Like location you haven't been to that you would love to go to, bucket list, paranormal location.
Machu Picchu, Peru.
That's a good one.
That's where I want to go. I want to go to like all to like the ruins, like
The
the Mayan
ruins,
ruins,
yeah,
Azteca, Inca. I've been to one Inca ruin.
Did you get a lot of responses from there or was it pretty active?
No, I just started. I didn't get anything, but it was cool. I was there though.
But you guys are like, it's a cool experience regardless.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's the
I'm
thing
going
is,
back.
even if you
Promise.
don't get anything, or maybe you get like minimal things, it's still a cool experience just to go, even if it's like you don't
Yeah,
get a lot.
definitely.
Yeah. And then Fran, what about you?
Ooh, I mean, it's tough, but I would say the pyramids in Egypt. I think that would be like
That'd be a good
really
one.
insane
Yeah.
to
That's
like
definitely a good one.
investigate.
Anything that's like old like that, like it's like, I love a lot of the locations here in like the States and stuff, because there's plenty, God, goodness, there's tons. But a lot of times where it's like we don't have that aged history. We don't, like, ours only goes back, so far. So like going to places like that where you have several hundred years of history,
Well, it's funny that you say
or
that.
thousands of years even, like,
A lot of people don't know this, but South Florida, or Florida in general, has like Native American, well, that's pretty much all over the place, but we have they found like burial mounds and artifacts that date like thousands of years ago right there.
Yeah.
And some people think that that's all probably like linked somehow with Maya and Azteca and Inca, like they all migrated and have some type of connection.
For sure, like absolutely. And then we did talk briefly about like debunking and things like that. Do you guys, is that something you actively do while you're investigating?
Okay,
Debunk?
yeah, definitely.
Have to debunk. I cannot
Yeah.
stress that enough.
Very
Yeah,
skeptical.
very important.
Like, it's super important because you don't want to, like, it's not everything. That's like one of my favorite things I say all the time. It's not everything's paranormal. It's not. It's like I'd love it to be. Trust me. Like, make sure you guys would love it to be
And
too.
my team members are critical of me and you have to be like that because like you'll find something so awesome and then they'll say something like that you probably like didn't notice. But
And
you're
you're
like,
like, oh.
I was like so psyched, and like,
They're like,
it's not paranormal.
or like, I got grabbed.
Yeah.
I got grabbed in the room. Dude, your jacket got caught on the door handle. Oh, like I didn't even see that.
Well, it's funny that you said that because we captured a shadow figure in one of the places that we have events at, and it looked like a little boy, like going down like the stairs like this. And one of my teammates debunked it, and what it was is like it was in this room, and then outside the room is the living room, and the front door is the hallway. Someone walked in the front door and let light in, and then like the knob, and there was something else like hanging on the knob of the door, made an illusion of something going like this.
Oh, okay.
And then
So
when
it's
he
just
told
a
me
shadow.
that, like
You're
I didn't want to believe it,
oh.
but I started looking at it. I'm like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, dang it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
My bad story too.
Go ahead and tell that.
So back in May, we all went up to Waverly Hills, our whole team, and Waverly, that's like the Mecca. That's
That
like one
is.
of the places that's going to be on your bucket
Top
list
tier,
to
yeah.
investigate. But so I'm from Miami, so I've never seen really a lot of bats in one place at one time. So I'm going through the hallway, going up the stairs, and I've got like a red filtered flashlight, and I'm just following my night vision camera, and like I can't really see too well. But like in the stairwell, I'll see the bats just like floating around, like, ooh, cool, look at the bats,
Like, oh,
look at the
bat.
bats. So I take one step out on the third floor, like in the hallway, and there's this shadow figure. Like I swear to God, it looked like it was like this big. It looked like almost like the size of a huge cat with green eyes. It was like sputtering, but like going real fast in front of me. And like I have it on like recording. It's on my YouTube, but yeah, I'm like cursing. So I'm like the whole time I'm thinking that was like a crawler because everyone says like that's where the crawlers hang out. So I'm like, I can go home now. Like I saw my shadow figure, and come to be known, I reviewed the video, and it was a freaking bat. Two bats like flying sideways like this. So it was like pretty cool. But the funny part of the whole thing was I went back to the nurse stations and did an EVP session. And I'm like, that thing that I saw, was it human or inhuman? Play back on recorder. Right before I said the question, bat. After my question ended, bat. Like, how crazy is that? It's pretty funny.
Like the spirits were even it's bad. Like it was bad though.
Yeah.
Like bats in haunted locations. We'll get into that with haunted side too. There's bats. Anyways.
That's my friends.
Yes, like they're just bats everywhere. But yeah, so let's go ahead and we'll open it up to Q&A. So if anyone has any questions for Eric or Fran about their team, about anything that they do, about their locations that they go to, about any of their experiences, training, anything like that, go ahead and raise your hand. Patrick.
I knew you were going to be the first one. I just knew it. I'm ready though.
When we make it down to Florida, we do some collab investigating.
Hell yeah, brother. I'm expecting that.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, let me know. Hit me up anytime. I'll set something up nice.
Oh, dude.
For sure.
Let's go next week.
All right. I got something planned.
Yeah.
Come December 4th.
December 4th.
I got the
He's got
Gold Coast Railroad
Railroad
Museum. We can stay there the whole night. We can do a lockdown if we want.
So you don't say.
She got touched. She had her hat
Hat
flicked
flicked,
in the
yeah.
maintenance room.
It's a very active spot, yes.
Lots of EVPs.
Yeah.
talk later. Kibitz later. Yeah. Anyone have any other questions? Janine?
So you're
My
talking
Florida
about,
friend.
yes. So you're talking about like the Tampa Bay area, like kind of maybe branching out. Is there like certain places that you would look into investigate?
Anywhere in Ybor City.
Yeah,
That place is really
like a
cool.
Cuban club.
The Cuban Club. One thing that someone would never know about me is I'm an insurance agent. Like that's what pays for all my paranormal toys. But I used to work like the school districts, helping with their health insurance coverage. And the one school district was Hillsborough. I was at the teacher union's office, and it's in one of those old cigar factories, and it's super haunted. And I like to try to see if I can work something out with them and like maybe do something there, and then the proceeds goes to the union.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, very cool. I think it dates back to like the late 1800s, and there's like markings on the
There's a lot of
wall.
mob activity that used to be there.
Yeah.
That too, yeah, for sure. So that was like speaking of mob activity, Biltmore, mob activity.
Yeah.
We're sitting in it.
Yeah. Biltmore, Miami, super haunted too.
Yeah.
They deny it though.
That's always got me too about like locations, because there's like when I do scouting and stuff like that, there are some places that are like they're haunted, or they have paranormal activity, or they've had things happen, and you'll approach them and go, hey, we would love to have a team come in there and look at that, and they go, we don't want to be associated with anything paranormal. Why? You're literally cutting your business in half. Like you're literally cutting off your nose to spite your face. Like,
But stay tuned. I'm working at the Biltmore. If you guys know the Biltmore and Coral Grove gables that you heard of,
I think I've heard
I'm working on that.
working on it.
Yeah.
Wear them down. That's what I figured. I just wear them down eventually until they are tired of
Yeah.
me. I just keep asking until they're finally like, yes, God, leave us alone. Does anyone
Ticket
else?
sales.
Right? Exactly. I was like, you guys are like, really? Like,
Yeah.
like,
The,
You can-
the money's all yours.
yeah, there you go. Like,
Yeah.
hey, it's like, you can keep all of this.
Exactly.
Money talks. Does anyone else have any other questions? Any more questions? I haven't watched, I can't see the chat from here.
Let me look,
Yeah.
get a little close up.
Okay, so how was your venture around the hotel last night after everybody left?
Very cool.
Yeah, I was wondering about that.
When you guys were doing the Estes method in the other room, I was getting like EVPs in the other room.
Oh, really?
Yeah, those were so.
I think Cody was there. He asked if so-and-so was murdered, and like clear as day, I played it back. I did.
Oh, wow.
And then Patty, you said something was going on in the bathroom.
Yeah.
I left 2 recorders running, and clear as day, I got get the F out.
Oh, wow.
They were not happy.
They were,
Yeah.
they're not happy spirits always. Sometimes there's like, Jason got punched in the face last night. So,
And it was unusual. Your Ovilus was getting like crazy amount of
Response,
words.
yeah, just like spitting out. Usually that's like really odd for it to do that too. Just like
it was just
spitting out,
constantly
just
going.
constantly going off. Yeah.
It's like sometimes I love when the Ovilus does that, when it's like, it'll literally like be quiet, then all of a sudden it just like,
Yeah.
it starts firing off like rapid fire. Like it doesn't normally do that. It's like, it's almost like surprising. Or even better, when it's been quiet for about 20 minutes and then it finally says something and scares the bejesus out of you.
Okay, so where was the hottest spot you found last night?
I think that room 310.
Okay, so
Right,
before,
that was-
so
that was
was it
the one
after
next to
like
it.
walking around when I was leaving and I saw you walking?
I didn't spend too much time,
Okay,
but tonight's going to be the night where I'm really going to
all right. Oh, maybe that's.
throw it down.
Oh, that's fine.
Which is funny that you put left in the bathroom, and was it 310 that you guys were in? So
Yeah,
that's
the one that's
room-
facing that sign,
The Billmore.
the circular sign.
Okay, I think that's 310. That's the one. It's funny that you mentioned the bathroom in there, and that Patty mentioned the bathroom in there, because that is the one that the haunted side filmed in there. Patrick got a shampoo bottle thrown at him
Oh, really?
in that bathroom.
Interesting. We're going back tonight.
Yeah. Like, so it's like, it's funny that you mentioned that bathroom, because that bathroom is a hot spot for sure. Don't know what happened in there.
You know, it's
but
funny, a lot of bathrooms are for some reason. I've investigated several bathrooms. We got a lot of
I
activity.
wonder if it's like the metal fixtures in there, like
It's
maybe
like
like,
the
Maybe they're doing the business and they don't want you in
maybe
there.
they're like, get out, I'm trying to take a ghost.
It's all about in the water, so.
They're like, I'm in here taking a shower. God, get out. Does anyone have any other questions for the team while they're up here, or any, like,
I'll take a quick look here.
yeah, take a quick look at the chat while it's going. 'cause I
What's
can't
up?
see.
Oh, what's up, Dantex? Everyone say hi to Dantex. You know who Dantex is. Right. Say hi. Shout out to Dantex, everybody. Shout out on this side. We can do like different. Who's going to be louder? This side? Shout out. This side. Right? That side. Come on, who's going to be louder? Okay, one more time. This side. This side. I think these guys won. All right. Oh wait, question. I forgot. No, I just got a bunch of highs.
All right. We had a question right there from the lady in the front.
I noticed that you present a lot on like Spanish television. That's what it seems like. I don't know.
Univision. Does anyone know Univision?
Yeah, I've been on Univision.
You know Premiere Impacto?
Yeah.
We've done like 8 stories there. One's coming out for Halloween. I'm gonna say it anyway, but next one. You guys seen like videos of the Tesla? Like on their they have that mapping system built into the car. Like I used to like to avoid people and how they're going into the cemetery and picking up people in cemeteries. Well, we're gonna get a Tesla and we're gonna test it out and see what we get and go into a cemetery with it. So it'll be very interesting.
It's gonna be fun.
They post it on YouTube and you can see subtitles. So.
Okay, well, sometimes. Good question for that
You
gentleman.
mentioned Univision. I've seen shows on there about paranormal, and I see communication in Spanish.
Right?
Now, when I'm investigating, I never hear Spanish. I rarely. I mean, it does come through, but I mean, that's all the time on Univision. So, you think is that real?
Well, it's different with us because, excuse me, we do it in Spanish and English, but we'll do a location where we're asking questions in Spanish, and we'll set up the Ovilus to spit out words in Spanish, and we'll do EVP sessions in Spanish, and we've gotten responses in Spanish as well. I had German investigators. We were investigating a cemetery, and they were talking in German. We were getting responses in German, so that was pretty cool.
Sometimes that's you might get more activity asking questions in another language especially if you know there's people that are either immigrants or something like that. You had a high immigrant population in a certain area. I mean, the mining towns out here in Nevada for sure, because they were Chinese immigrants that helped build the railroads and stuff like that. So attempting to communicate to them in their native language, sometimes you can get some definite.
And this cemetery had a lot of World War II veterans, so I'm sure some of them spoke German or knew some.
Sure.
If you haven't been, you should go to the Daydreams and Nightmares. We went as a group here.
Where's that?
It's in Modesto, California.
Oh, okay, cool.
It's Daydreams and Nightmares costume shop. And anyways, Stan Lee had gone, right? He passed away. We asked the spirit box, it was a Huff Paranormal spirit box. And it came through He's Legend. And we were just kind of laughing about that. But other voices were coming through in Spanish on that. So it was an interesting spot, but that is definitely a very active.
Oh, very cool. Good to know.
For sure. Does anyone have any other questions for the team while I have them captive up here? Levy has one.
So in Florida,
New York in the house.
so in Florida, I have family down there, so for that. As we spoke yesterday.
You're coming too.
Yeah.
You got an invitation too.
So what part of Florida do you think is the most haunted? I don't think that's Florida, Tampa.
I can't pinpoint. I think there's so many places around Florida, and it's not just, Yeah, there's a lot. Miami. I mean, Key West. You know what Key West means? Island of the Bones, Skya Hueso, Bone Key. It was like a ancient burial ground for Native Americans. So when the Spanish discovered it, they discovered all the bones there. Super haunted. Skya Hueso. That sounds good to say, right?
It just sounds cool. It sounds better in Spanish. Why don't we call it that? Why don't we change it to Key West? It's left the name
Should we
alone.
get everyone to say Skya Hueso?
Yeah, it sounds
Skya Hueso.
way creepier. I love that. All right, so if you guys don't have any more questions, we'll go ahead and wrap it up and get prepped for the next panel. So where can they find y'all? Throw you out your social media links.
Ladies
Tell
first.
everybody
Yeah,
where.
sure, Supernatural Eye, so supernatural_eye, Instagram. Definitely my YouTube channel, click the link on my bio, and then also on Snapchat. For now, I am expanding on Facebook, so I'm still trying to get on the Facebook game, so we're getting there. Yep.
And then we're Party Paranormal, more on Instagram and Facebook. Ghost Experience, our paranormal boot camp, that's the same. And then they all feed off of my main account, which is Ghost Hunter South Florida. That's Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok.
They're on all of them. So go subscribe immediately if you haven't yet. What are you doing with your life? I just like to ask that question. All right, so thank you guys. Thank you so
Thank
much
you.
for coming this weekend and
honor.
showing me. I know it is a long trip, but I'm glad you're here.
I'm just happy I started after Patty.
He was like, wow,
They
that's
are.
a great, I get to lead out and go after Patty. That's so cool.
Yeah, definitely.
All right, thank you guys so much for being here. Thank you. Round of applause for War Party Paranormal.
Wow.
Hit the green room. Get your iPad.